And men, as they climb the socioeconomic ladder in every one of these cultures, the difference in age between the husband and wife increases in every culture. So that means if you get higher up the socioeconomic status, if you're Yanomamo Indians or you're Aboriginal or you're from Norway or Mexico or whatever, as those men get richer, the difference in age between they and their wives increases.
Pull up this article real quick about age gap. They break down the different age gaps of what women are interested in. I'm sure you've done multiple episodes on this.
I got essays galore.
Okay. This article talks about the best age difference for a successful marriage. Okay. What is the best age difference for a successful marriage? All right. We don't read that. So they give basically 4 different brackets, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Age gaps work differently for different couples. For some, it's closer in the same age, basically same age to about 3 years. Then they say that there's the 5 to 7 year age gap, which basically there's fewer clashes, there's less misunderstandings and arguments. Then there's the 10-year age gap, which is sort of my wheelhouse. They have different life goals, let's say, different ambitions and perspectives aligned together. However, it can be a little bit stretchy at times. Sometimes the younger partner won't stand up to the older partner's maturity level and create a lot of issues. That's what this article says. Then there's the big one. Michael could talk about this. The old 20-year age gap, the good stuff.
All right.
And they say, this article, not my opinion, Michael, that ideally this is not the best age gap for couples, that it will be a huge shift in goals, ambitions, opinions, and mentality. The biggest of all being wanting children, while the older spouse, which is you in this case, sir, may want to have children ASAP, but the younger one may not be ready on this opportunity. So
it's not an issue for us.
Not an issue. So
it's funny because I'm 46 and she's 21. We're at the exact same spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Break that down. So 46, 21, there's a 25-year age gap.
Yeah, so a couple years we both would like to have children. Like maybe when we discuss it, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. It's the irony is, like, I listen to more hip hop than her. I'm in the gym just as much as she. Like, the things that are supposed to be the age difference between me being 46 and her being 21, we just don't have. I'm on TikTok more than she is. So it's like, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's how you knew it was meant to be.
Well, the issue I'm trying to make is those stereotypical differences between the decrepit 46-year-old man and the 21-year-old girl. They don't. You three of you know my girlfriend. They just don't happen with us. We're actually
well, I mean, to your credit, brother, you're smart, you're capable, you're a stud. You know everybody in Vegas. Like, you look great. You look great. Like, it's not like when I think of 46 and when girls think of 46, you don't necessarily think of Michael Sartain out there. Okay.
Well,
so
what's the age difference between, like, say, Chris Evans and his new wife? Yeah, Captain America.
Okay.
Like, it was just
these girls didn't know who the sexiest man alive was. Give me
he just got married, and I think he's in his 40s. I think she's like in her late 20s or something. And people
you see a problem with that?
No, I don't see a problem with it at all. But but anytime there's like even like a 7 to 10 year age difference between the two, women lose their minds. Because the guys, it's like robbing the cradle or something right there. And statistically speaking, women tend to go for guys who are between 3 to 7 years older than they are, simply because it takes longer for a man to mature into his peak potential. So, and also, I should say that is starting to get a little bit further out now, because there's so many guys who just don't look like they're going to reach their peak potential, and so women tend to share the guys who are a little bit more made men, right? They're the guys who are already in their 30s or maybe even getting into their 40s or something like that.
When you say shared the guys, what do you mean?
Well, share them in the sense whether they know that they are or they don't. It's not like I didn't say it's willing. I said, that maybe it's just something you don't talk about. But they are the guys who are the, for lack of a better term, alpha males, high value guys that are exceedingly more and more rare, and so rather than keep spinning their wheels, they are at least more willing to share that guy, or don't know that they are and don't ask questions whether or not they're in a sort of non-exclusive.
What's the age gap difference between you and your wife?
3 years.
Okay, so you're 3 years older than her.
Yeah.
Okay, and dude, you wrote The Rational Male. You're like the expert on this subject. How aware were you of age differences when you got married?
I wasn't even thinking about it, because remember, I got married when I was like 28.
What did you tell your daughter about age differences that she should be aware of?
We didn't really have that discussion. It was more about the guy or anything else.
You just judge his character, not
And again, I mean, I'm Earl Tomasi. She's my daughter, right? I'm going to definitely be a little bit more discerning, let's just say.
As you should be.
What was the main conversation like? What would you say was like something that you told him? It was like,
oh gosh,
you see these guns right here?
No, well, it wasn't so much that. I know everybody says, oh yeah, it's like, if you ever hurt her, I'll beat the shit. That's already established, okay? Like, so there's not gonna, we don't have to have that conversation, because that is already implied in the fact that I'm allowing you to date my daughter in the first place. It was more about, like, what do you want for the future? What do you want to do? Can you defeat me in single combat? No, it was more about to explain to him like what being married is about, because it's not just two people coming together. It's not just my daughter and her now husband coming together. It's her family, my daughter's family, us, and his family coming together, and then any potential children that are a result of that marriage. Then now we're grandchildren, and you got to remember that it's not just two people that are coming together. It's like two clans, two families that are coming together.
Unite the clans.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Name that movie.
I hate Braveheart. Yeah. But that's a good example, because there was a reason why a man, and he did this. That one of the reasons I have respect for him is he asked me for permission to marry my daughter.
Respect.
And again, that sounds like very romantic and chivalrous and stuff. It's like,
sweet.
no, there's actually a function to that. Because, and this is, you want to know why I told him? This is what I told him. I said, there's a function to that. There's a purpose for that. It seems like really something in Braveheart or something in a romantic comedy kind of thing. But there was a necessity for one man to say, I want to marry your daughter. What he's saying is, I want to unite our families together, and I want any future children here, so we are all of one sort of clan because of this union.
Sterling, you're you're an eligible bachelor.
Go on.
No, I mean, I was thinking of the appropriate words. Eligible bachelor. Are you 40 yet?
36.
36. My apologies, bro. I'm just, you roll with, what's an ideal age difference for you to actually settle down? Do you want to get married one day or no?
Yeah.
What's the ideal?
Biblically married, not
Biblically.
not
Gotcha.
governmentally married.
Gotcha. What's an ideal age gap for you?
I'm looking for women who are like 24 or younger,
20. Why that specific number?
because just think there's less brainwashing, less programming. I mean, I wouldn't want to be with a woman who's been to university and been brainwashed by like liberalism in university.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of different criteria.
Hey, listen, college education used to be a great thing. Now it's turning out to
Not
be
so
Hey,
prickly
realized
thorn.
he's
Go ahead.
36 and I'm 46 and he's 56. I just realized that.
No, 55, dude. Don't
close.
get me there yet.
Bro, he's about to
6
he's about
more
to bust
months,
out the gun. You were about to add one more thing.
Just what he was saying before with the age difference thing. It's really interesting because, again, the evolution of desire, one of the things they talk about is in all these different societies, they go over these 37 different cultures that they measure. And men, as they climb the socioeconomic ladder in every one of these cultures, the difference in age between the husband and wife increases in every culture. So that means if you get higher up the socioeconomic status, if you're Yanomamo Indians or you're Aboriginal or you're from Norway or Mexico or whatever, as those men get richer, the difference in age between they and their wives increases.
And why do you think that is?
Just because men want a longer, reproductive career. I mean, that's the evolutionary answer. Obviously, the answer is young, hot women look hot. But that's such a basic answer. By the way, contrary is not true. As women make more money, they want richer husbands. It's funny because you would think as women make more money, they would have less necessity for a man to make more money. So they just pick some big dumb stud.
Well, that would be hypergamy, right?
Right.
there.
Well, it also takes longer for a man to mature into his peak potential.
No doubt.
So it's like, they always say, a man doesn't become a man until he's 30, right? So in my first book, I peg it at about 34 to 38, somewhere like 36.
So,
is
dude,
average,
you're about to be a man, Sterling.
Well, it's
Right now.
and by the way, there's other surveys that say it's even later than that. But back in the day, I pegged it right about that. That's when guys tend to like make partner in the law firm. They're a surgeon, or they have created their business, and they have proven their worth, and they are better judges of character. They understand a little bit more about like who they are, and how other people are as well. And I think that on some sort of like hindbrain level, from as old as like 5 years old, like little girls understand that it takes longer it actually takes women, they're faster maturing physically than it does for guys. And I think there's sort of an analogy to that, like for sort of psychologically as well. So when you look at the average age of first marriage here in the United States, it's like 32 for men and it's 30 for women right now. Thank you, Jim Sexton, for updating me on those ages.
32 and 30.
32 and 30.
Where was it 20
right now.
years ago?
Probably about like 19 and 22. Something in the 60s, it was like 19 and 22.
Wow.
So-
Ladies, you got some
But still,
catching up to do.
but you notice there's still like that 2-year difference, 3-year difference between the two.
But back to your point, and then I want to get the ladies' way on this. You said that as guys climb up the socioeconomic ladder,
Yes.
they will date younger girls, or they
Yes,
just
so the difference in age
Yes,
increases.
gotcha.
Right, so like a different age, younger girls. We just saw what's his name? Is it Al Pacino? He's 83.
83
had a
is
baby with
25,
a 29-year-old
Yeah.
woman. So like that's still like that's young, but like when I talk to women about this, they're like, once you get above 25, 26, kind of all bets are off. It's not
Yeah.
weird if you're 26 dating a 35-year-old man or 45-year-old man. But I think where people have an issue is 18, 19, 20
Yes.
dating a 55.
You know what they call this, by the way? This whole thing. It's
Successful
called the
marriage. I'm sorry, what?
that too, the McConaughey effect. The
McConaughey,
old,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
old.
they keep
I
getting-
get older and they stay the same age. All right.
When I
all
get
right.
asked this
I get
question,
it.
one of the answers I give is Aristotle. He was asked, "What's the best age for men and women to marry?" And he said, 18 for women and 36 for men, as far back as Aristotle's time.
This was in the Greek.
Yes, and it was because that guy is, like I said, entering into his like peak potential. He is a made man, and that woman is now 18, and she's now young, fertile, and she's approaching the best years of her
Well, look.